ziua, suntem la Mobile World Congress 2017.
Vă prezentăm pe telecomtv.ro cele mai noi lansări ale industriei. Hello everybody, we are at Mobile World Congress 2017 in Qualcomm's booth, where we find out here a special sector dedicated to Siklu. Mr. Kirshenbaum is here with us today. He is the CEO of the company. Hello Mr. Kirshenbaum.
Hello.
How was this year here at Mobile World Congress?
Very, very busy. Very busy. We see a lot of interest in millimeter wave, mostly because of the 5G trend to go to millimeter wave.
Okay, what are you exhibiting here?
Well, we are exhibiting here, first of all, our regular product line, which is point-to-point at E-band and V-band, which relates to backhaul applications. And this is the most selling millimeter wave product in the line in the world. But what we are more excited here is to present, actually, to show here our point-to-multipoint product. This is our new point-to-multipoint product, which provides 2 gigabit to up to 8 stations, and is actually the main application that we see for this product is residential access, or what we call fixed to home, which is going to be mainly the early 5G application.
What is the connection between Qualcomm and Siklu?
Qualcomm is an early investor in Siklu, so Qualcomm is we are hosted here by Qualcomm Ventures. You can see here the logo of Qualcomm Ventures, which invest in Siklu. So this is the main connection, and on top of that, of course, the new point-to-multipoint product that we're using is based on Qualcomm WiGig chipset, which is to our opinion the best WiGig chipset that you can find, and this is why we use it. So we are new to the 5G. We have been always providing connectivity to homes and to buildings, but the whole trend of millimeter wave to 5G is a new trend, and we are having the first product which is going into that product. The first breakout was actually last year when Google acquired one of our customers, WebPass, to actually provide the broadband connectivity or the gigabit to the home connectivity, and since there we have gained Google as a main customer. And what you can see here also is a slide that shows how AT&T and other companies are looking at millimeter wave as a way to do the last hop of gigabit to the home. And what is more interesting, I think, that we have one slide that shows the Siklu deployment in San Francisco. Here you can see in 2012 there was almost nothing there, but you can see here all of San Francisco, and these are all Siklu radios in San Francisco connecting people with gigabit internet. So you can see that it's really a huge deployment, and you can do with millimeter wave, you can do very dense deployment of high capacity radios, which is the main advantage of millimeter waves, and this is why it is the choice for 5G early application. Today, if you want to connect things in the urban environment and you want to use like Wi-Fi, you have so much interference that you cannot get any good connectivity. You get really very low rate because of interference. Millimeter wave has very narrow beams, and because of the narrow beams, actually you don't have interference between the systems. So you can see here as an example the narrow beams of millimeter wave compared to Wi-Fi that allow you to actually have a lot of transmitters working in the same environment without interfering to each other. And the other thing that you can see here is actually the wide spectrum that we have compared to the Wi-Fi spectrum, which is very narrow. So we have more spectrum and we have very narrow beams, so we can do a lot of dense urban installations.
Why do you think the mobile operators and the service and the equipment provider consider the lack of spectrum a big problem?
Because the only way to provide high capacity is by actually reusing the spectrum, and they don't have enough spectrum. But when we are talking here about 5G, we're not talking about mobile operators. We're talking about wireline operators, and now they're also using spectrum in order to actually enhance the fiber. Nobody can put fiber to any house. So actually millimeter wave is now becoming a legitimate fiber extension mean. And this is the new thing about how we look at 5G with millimeter wave. That 5G is becoming, that millimeter wave is becoming the extension of fiber. 5G will be wireless, but the wireless part of 5G is going to happen from 2020 and forward. Until 2020, the early stages of 5G are all going to be about fixed wireless.
You have a general overview, a worldwide one. How do you see Europe's position in the 5G fight, in front or in the back of the US and the Asians?
Well, I don't have a good view on 5G on the mobile part because we haven't been following that. I think that on the wireline part of fiber to the home, I think that by far US is in the front. In the US we see, in Europe we see a small rise of that in the UK, but we don't see it in many other places. In Asia there is a different dynamic because in Asia it will take more time because the developed countries in Asia like Japan, Korea and China have a lot of fiber, so they will move into this fiber extension in a later stage.